Hi friends! Today I'm collaborating with Chef Tetsu from Samurai Sushi Spirit. I'm privileged to learn how to make hand-rolled sushi for holiday parties. Chef Tetsu runs a high-end omakase-style sushi restaurant in Hakata, and his restaurant is listed on the Michelin Guide. Hakata is the biggest city in the Kyushu area, and the Kyushu is famous for its fresh fish produce, and it's as good as the Hokkaido produce. He just started his own YouTube channel, Samurai Sushi Spirit, and be sure to go there and subscribe. You have much to learn from him. I'm so excited to learn from him the pro tip. Hi, Tetsu-san. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, Chef Tetsu. Do you make hand-rolled sushi at your restaurant? No, basically, I don't make hand-rolled sushi at my restaurant. Hand-rolled sushi is eating at home, right? Yes, but sometimes I make hand-rolled sushi because, we use seaweed for sushi quite often, and some fishes are going so well together. So I make hand-rolled sushi when I have ingredients that complement each other well. I see. I heard that you were using a particular kind of nori in your restaurant. I think nori produced in Saga Prefecture has the best quality in Japan. Yes, you're right. I tried it once and it was so memorable taste. I can't forget. Let me ask you about how to prepare the fish for the hand-rolled sushi. What is the suitable size? This much. Cut into this size. If you cut into a thick stick, you can't bite through and you can roll. The shorter side is 10 centimeter and the longer side is about 20 centimeter. So the fish going to be 1 by 10 centimeter sticks. Okay, I got it. The next question is, what are you going to make for the hand-rolled sushi filling? As a professional, I myself like tuna and lettuce the most for the hand-rolled sushi. Really? Because you are tired of the expensive fish, maybe? As for making a professional level filling, use the edge of the fish when you cut the fish into desired size. Cut them into small dice, toss in sweet and savory zuke soy sauce, and then drizzle sesame oil, making it tasty. Other recommendation to add the flavor is add toasted and ground white sesame seed, grated ginger, chopped scallion, or scissor leaves. That is surely goes well with fish. Add any fragrance or aroma of your choice. Just a little bit of flavor makes it so special. Thank you so much for the idea, chef, and that makes my mouth watery. Next, I want to ask you about the sushi vinegar. I always have some trouble with the ratio of the rice vinegar and sugar and salt. What's the best ratio for the sushi vinegar? Well, it depends on the chef what is the proportion to make the sushi vinegar. But generally, in the Kanto area, they prefer the simple and light in taste. But in the Kansai area, they like the sweeter taste. And don't forget to add kombu cap to add an umami profile. Is it okay if you make it just by combining all the ingredients? No, it isn't. You should cook on a low heat until the sugar and salt dissolve. But do not bring it to a boil. Heat it until the sugar and salt dissolve and the temperature is about just below the 90 degrees Celsius. If you bring it to a boil, it loses its sourness from the vinegar and it's not as good as my restaurant. When you see the vinegar becomes transparent, that's the sign that you can stop cooking. And the next I want to ask you about is the ratio of rice and sushi vinegar. I think the ratio is between 30 to 60 milliliter for 1 cup of cooked rice. There is so much difference in between. Maybe you cannot tell me the exact amount of the sushi vinegar at your restaurant. Start from 30 milliliter and then adjust to your taste. Add little by little to your taste. That's the best way to find your own ratio for sushi rice. As for the sushi rice, are you cooking it with less water to make it firm and make a room for the sushi vinegar? Yes, basically it should be firm and have less water content. When you mix the rice and vinegar, are there any tips and tricks we should pay attention to it? The most important thing is not to break up any grain of rice. If your sushi rice has too much moisture, place it on a cutting board and use a fan to evaporate the excess water. That's what busy sushi restaurants do. And one more thing you should remember, keep warm when you make sushi. When your rice is lukewarm, it's gonna brighten up the flavors. Wow, I didn't realize that temperature is so important. Thank you for the advice, chef, and let's get started cooking. Now, let's start with making sushi vinegar. Put all the ingredients for the sushi vinegar in a pot. Start cooking on medium heat. Constantly stir. It looks cloudy while dissolving the sugar and salt. As time passes and the temperature rises, there will be a moment that the liquid becomes translucent. Do not ever bring it to a boil because it loses the sourness from the vinegar that is the signature aroma of sushi. As soon as it reaches the stage of the translucent liquid, turn the heat off. Add a piece of dried corn cap and let it cool. Transfer to a bottle. You can keep the sushi vinegar in the fridge for a couple of months. It doesn't contain any water, so the sushi vinegar hardly goes bad. Make a big batch and keep it in the fridge, and you can make sushi rice anytime you want. To make the sushi rice, you will need short grain rice. Preferably use Japanese short grain rice. You can also use medium grain rice, but you cannot use long grain rice like jasmine rice or basmati rice. Cook rice with less water than usual. Remove 2 tablespoons of water for a cup of rice. As soon as it's cooked, transfer to a large bowl. Sprinkle sushi vinegar over the rice. Mix well with your rice paddle as if cutting the rice. You should really do this work quickly while the rice is steaming hot. What you are doing is coat each grain with the rice vinegar. Break the lumps gently with the cutting motions. Sushi vinegar goes down to the bottom of the bowl at first, and it looks like a lot, but it is what it is. Continue mixing until the rice absorbs all the vinegar. The rice is cooked with less water than usual, so the rice has the extra room for vinegar. After the rice soaking out the vinegar, it will have a perfect texture and viscosity. This is the amount for the home consumption, so it is relatively easy to handle. But suppose you are making a double or triple this amount. In that case, it will not be easy to handle all the amount, so use a fan to evaporate the excess moisture. Now my sushi rice looks good. Do not waste a single grain of rice. Chef Tetsu said it is good to keep in an airtight container to keep it longer. Now let's prepare the other ingredients. Now let's prepare the fish. Today I have tuna, salmon, and scallop. We can easily find sushi-grade fish at the grocery store, but you can find it online if not the case. Make sure that it can be eaten raw. Take out from the package and rinse under the running cold water. Pat dry and cut into 1 by 10 cm sticks as Chef Tetsu taught us. To make it easy to bite through, you want to cut across the grain. Keep the edges to make the special zuke filling later. Cut the edges into dice. And do the same to the salmon. Rinse under the cold running water and pat dry. When you cut the fish, do not ever give it too much pressure. Use a very sharp knife to cut it through. Cut the edges into dice to make zuke filling. Rinse scallops under the cold running water and pat dry. Trim the firm part and leave the white meat and cut into 2 to 3. Cut the edges into small dice to easy to eat. Keep your fish in the refrigerator until served. Now we are going to make tuna mayonnaise. I don't know about you, but we love tuna mayo with rice. I found the best way to make tuna mayo, so let me share it with you. First, I thought the more tuna we add, the more it tastier. But truth is completely opposite. A small portion of tuna and a lot of mayo makes a good tuna mayo. You can use both of tuna in soup or tuna in oil, but squeeze out all the soup from the tuna if you are using a tuna in soup. You can use the oil in the can, but use less mayo if that's the case. Transfer tuna into a small bowl, add half amount of mayonnaise. You should really break down the tuna into small pieces, almost becoming a fiber or floss. Add the rest of the mayo to the bowl when your tuna is broken down, and then repeat the process. You should really break down the tuna into floss and give it a taste. For me, it feels a little bit dry, so I decided to add more mayonnaise and salt and pepper. Adjust the consistency to your taste. Mix well until the tuna mayonnaise looks fluffy, and that's the sign that you finish mixing. Transfer to a small bowl, and there you have it. Set aside until the other ingredients are ready. We are going to make beef teriyaki for the hand-rolled sushi. Sweet and savory beef teriyaki that everybody loves. If somebody in your family doesn't like any fish, it will be a good alternative for the sushi filling. Here I have a sliced beef sirloin, but you can slice it by yourself. Slice the half-frozen steak thinly into the slices. You can check another video to slice up the beef from the steak. Cut into an inch strip. For seasonings, you will need sugar, soy sauce, and mirin. The ratio is very basic, 1 to 1 to 1. But if you like sweeter, add more sugar, and if you don't like the sweetness, reduce the sugar. Mirin has a gentle sweetness, and it gives a beautiful sting on the beef, so you don't want to skip the mirin. Cook your beef on medium-low heat in a frying pan. Separate the meat while cooking. Add sugar. This may be a Kansai cooking style, but we add sugar directly to the beef before it cooked, and it is believed that sugar makes meat tender and tastier. Use the chopsticks to separate the meat and cook until no longer pink. Add soy sauce and mirin and cook until the sauce is reduced. It's optional, but add grated fresh ginger to add a refreshing aroma to the meat. When almost all the liquid is gone, add potato starch solution to thicken up the sauce. Add it little at a time. You can skip the potato starch. If that's the case, reduce the seasonings well. Transfer to a dish and set aside until the other ingredients are ready. Last but not least, let's make Chef Tetsu's special zuke filling. Put your mirin and soy sauce into a heat-proof bowl and microwave it for 30 seconds at 800 watt. Cool completely and toss the diced fish into the bowl. Add fragrant to your preference. I add sesame oil to make it flavorful and silky texture. You don't have to marinate too long. Actually, you can enjoy it, just toss it up in the sauce. Now let's take a look at other ingredients. Here are the additional ingredients for the standard hand-rolled sushi filling, and it's totally up to you which kind of ingredients you are preparing, and you have to consult your time and energy to make it. I prepared the tamagoyaki that is our family's favorite, cut into the same size of the fish, and cut avocado into sticks. Chef Tetsu recommends cutting the avocado with the skin on to retain the shape and beautiful color longer. Prepare cucumber and cut into 2 lengthwise and cut into 3. Remove seeds to make them crunchy. And here is a pack of daikon sprouts. Cut off the roots and release in the cold water to remove any seeds. Drain and remove the excess moisture. And if you want to have shrimps, remove veins, stick the skewer in the belly side, straighten it up. Boil in salty water and drop in cold water to stop cooking to keep it flavorful and moist. Now let's assemble the plate. Put your ikura in the center, and the color is so bright and makes the plate so gorgeous. It's a little bit pricey, but totally worth it for the holiday party. And place a Chef Tetsu's special zuke filling beside ikura. Place daikon sprout and siso leaves on the dish and place fish on top. Be creative and play around to make a beautiful plate. And if you have a sudachi citrus, the Japanese citrus with a refreshing aroma, cut into wedges, put here and there. Sliced lime or lemon can be used instead. And if you find an edible flower at the grocery store, put it onto the plate to make it colorful and vibrant. Have fun with it. And don't forget to serve the tuna mayo and teriyaki beef. Okay, it looks good. Let's make hand-rolled sushi. Chef Tetsu said the sushi rice should be lukewarm. And here is the nori seaweed I found at the grocery store, and it is from Saga Prefecture, just the same as Chef Tetsu using. I was lucky enough to find a premium nori at the grocery store. It doesn't cost me too much. Place about a heaping tablespoon of sushi rice on top of the nori. Place siso leaves or filling of your choice. Be sure to keep the rice amount less than you think. Otherwise, you cannot roll and you will be full before you taste various kinds of filling. And let's make a teriyaki beef roll. It goes so well with daikon sprout or any kind of fragrant vegetable. And this is my favorite, avocado, shrimp, and tuna mayonnaise. And this is a special zuke filling that Chef Tetsu taught us. Serve with wasabi and soy sauce. If you're lucky enough to find a fresh wasabi root, you can shave the outside skin and grate it into a fine, fluffy paste. Or you can use the wasabi in a tube. Put a little amount of soy sauce and enjoy. We make hand-rolled sushi at any celebratory occasion like New Year holidays and birthdays.
いやー、素晴らしい出来ですね。
Wow, you've done a great job. It looks almost like a pro. It seems the hand roll keeps the nice shape and the crispness of the nori. You should tell me how to make tuna mayo and beef teriyaki. Of course I will. Thank you so much for the tip, chef. I hope you enjoyed the episode and you will give this recipe a try. Happy holidays everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye!